Right, I've been working away with some of the automated rail systems, and one of the major problems, or things I dislike myself, is that trains will run backwards and forwards constantly no matter what their destination has got as storage. So I currently have some outposts out here that they're not mining fast enough to fill all the chests up and fill one train at a time. They're sometimes running out of resources before the actual time. I've got a signal system set up so that I get constant signals that say don't send a train, and occasionally you get enough materials, it sends a train out, fills the train up, and then the train goes back full of materials, and you don't waste fuel, basically, is the thing I'm thinking here. I've got them set up to wait for 15,000 copper before sending a train out. Anyway, this is the idea of what I did. I'm going to put wires, green wires actually, you just need to grab some more green wire. I'll just grab a full stack. So we're going to connect that up to the power tower there, which I've already laid the lines across to the other side. And we're going to set turn read signal off because we do not need that. We're going to set up a constant signal called Z and say when that's below 1, the signal will be closed. So now a train will not move even if we set it to automatic and tell it to go to the first stop. You see, it just waits at the signal there. And both of these signals are at green. What we need to do is set this system up to work. So we're going to connect our chests up to a system, and we're also going to have an earthlink calculator on each signal. Now we want the signal that brings your train into the section where your station is. So this is the input signal. And what we want to do is, well, we need to power these as well, so we're going to put 2 power towers in there, and we want this powered on a separate line if we can. Yes. So now we're going to connect the chest to the power tower and round to where the signal is. I'm out of range of the signal. So we connected the green wire to the signal. Now this means that we'll be able to set a closed signal, and we're going to keep the read signal on this one. The closed condition is going to be the item in the chest, which is iron plates in this case, so we'll find iron plates and say when they're below, and set a number that's constant of 50. So when the iron plates are above 50, sorry. When they're above 50, below 50. When they're below 50, it turns green. So we'll run that exact same system here. I like how I confuse myself while doing this as well. So if you get confused by it, don't be worried. Right. Oh, I actually had a condition set up there, so we can right click the signal, shift right click, and then shift left click, and it'll copy them and paste the settings. So we've got the settings now for that. I'm going to use a red wire here just to identify it a lot better. And we're going to connect the signal to the back of the arithmetic combinator. So that's inputting into the back of this, we're going to give it a signal, and we want the colour signal green. And we're going to add it to 0. And then output signal Z. So signal Z is going to come out the front end of this here. Now, the way I'm going to do this, it's going to be slightly different. I'm going to put a power tower out here, and then one connecting up to this main system here, and then another one that I want to be able to connect to close to there, like that. It doesn't matter about the copper cable, they're nothing. We can disconnect the copper cables from this. We're just using this for the logistics system. And we take a green cable from the front of from the output side, where the arrow's pointing there is the output side, to the tower. And then we'll take it onto this tower and through to that tower. And now we've got the output there. We need to set this up the same, so when you get a green signal, add it to 0 and output Z. So we currently have a Z output of 0. Right. So we can connect the output of this. Oh, that power tower is just out of range. So I need to move that a bit closer because I was out of range of the actual area. So we take that green signal to the tower and we can connect it up to this tower here. So that's connected now to the network, and we've got a Z signal of 1, which means my train comes. It comes over, empties the chest, and that's that. So my train instantly came over because the Z condition here went to above 1. It went to above 0. So we've got a Z condition now as 0 again, which will allow my train to run back. Admittedly, I maybe have this wait time a bit long here, but 30 seconds and it goes back again. Everything's at red because we only have 43 iron plates and 0 iron plates. So none of the conditions here for pickup are being made, so the signal stays red here. The Z signal travelling down is saying 0, so this condition is not met, and now it is met. So the train, if it was ready, could depart because Z is less than 1 is the stop signal. So Z0, it stops. So if either one of these two stations gets filled up with materials, it will send a train out and come and collect them. The way this would work with an outpost system is you have multiple outposts with the same station name. Then you have the signal set up and a signal wire going all the way back to your base, and then a stop signal down at your base. So, as exampled, this is all set up exactly the same as the system I just showed you, except I'm using copper ore. When copper ore is greater than 15,000, it opens the signal because this is the closed condition. So if copper ore is less than 15,000, it's closed, so there's no green signal, therefore it doesn't output an extra Z signal. Currently we have, let's see, 12,000 ore here, so there's no trains going to be coming out to that anytime soon. And this is currently on the same setup, and we're at 13,000, but we're not going to get anything out here anytime soon either. And I know this because the train down here doesn't have a green light. He's ready to go. He could go past that signal at any moment as soon as it goes to the right condition. So what we'll do is, on my little system here, we'll make a little cheat to the system, and we'll put a Z signal in of 1. Then we'll turn it back off again. And if you noticed, I've got some lamps here just set up to tell me when it clears. So we take this back away. See, that's Z equals 1, Z equals 0, Z equals 1. And then I can tell what signals I'm getting here. Right, that train went out officially it has nowhere to go because the signals here are set to red. So he's now stuck on the main line because I made a mistake down there and turned that signal to green. So I'm going to have to just quickly give this a signal on the red wire. So give this a signal quickly to say, oh, we've got loads and loads of copper. That'll turn to green, he can move in, then he'll load up and move off. So I've got plenty of materials there before I even call the train in. And he takes 4,000 each time because that's a full carriage. Oh, I didn't manage to click it. I was trying to click it. But that's working on 2 outposts with 1 train system, and it just doesn't let the train go until one of those has enough for making the train move. This train's still moving, of course. I need to stop them plates from running back and forth. But it saves on fuel. And it saves on mistakes with your trains. You can end up moving your trains about too much, and yeah, it was just a nice little thing I thought I could do. So automated rail system through a single control back at your base. Just have your copper train sat on one line, on one siding, and just put the end of that siding into a dead end system so your trains queue up. When an outpost becomes available, the signal goes to green, your train zips off to your station, picks up the items. Once it's picked up the items, the signal actually goes back to red until there's enough there, and then your next train can go out. So you're only ever sending trains when you need them to be sent, not sending them constantly back and forwards with a half-filled train or an empty train even. So it just saves on a bit of fuel in the game for you. Also, it makes your railway systems less dangerous, because you're then not having trains running all the time, only when you need them. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.